very good afternoon to all of you friends. So friends, welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. In this session, in this part 1 session of 100 most expected SLAT questions, I will be discussing with you some very important questions that can come in your SLAT question paper. Now, if you see the kind of preparation that you require for SLAT and the kind of preparation you require for law entrance examination like CLAT, ALIT and others is slightly different. Although the syllabus remains more or less the same, there happens to be some different type of approach that a student who is preparing for CLAT needs to do, and certain different kind of an approach that a student preparing for SLAT and other law entrance examination is required to do. Now, one very important thing that I must share with you in the beginning is the fact that when you are preparing for Symbiosis Law Admission Test, what are the things that is required from you? First and foremost is concept of law. Apart from concept of law, they also ask you. Now in CLAT, you get passage-based questions. So there will be a particular passage given. You have to read the passage, understand the passage. Based on your understanding, based on what you have understood from the passage, you need to solve certain questions. But insofar as SLAT is concerned, the kind of questions you get are all principle and fact-based questions, as well as legal knowledge-based questions. Now, what do you mean by legal knowledge-based questions? Now, knowledge-based questions are something like, who is the law minister of the country? Who is the Chief Justice of India? Who is the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court? So knowledge-based questions are not reasoning questions. They just want to test your particular knowledge. Now, they might ask you a question: in which landmark judgment the Supreme Court laid down certain guidelines relating to sexual harassment at workplace? If you know the name of the judgment, you know it. If you don't know, you don't know. That's simple. You cannot reason it out. If you know Vishaka was a state of Rajasthan, yes, it's a very landmark judgment, you know it. So all that I'm trying to say, when a student is focusing on SLAT, you first need to understand the kind of questions that SLAT has been asking in the last 5-10 years. You need to have a good outlook. And what do I mean by outlook? You need to search for the kind of questions that come. जब आप एक एग्जाम का प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि आप प्रीवियस ईयर्स क्वेश्चन पेपर देखें. क्योंकि जब आप प्रीवियस ईयर्स क्वेश्चन पेपर देखते हैं, आपको मालूम अंदाजा हो सकता है और हो जाता है कि कैसे कैसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. So guys, let's begin. Now, before I begin, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you ACLAT with BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive exam preparation platform. Unlock your 3-day free trial access today. There is a link given in the description box below. Go to the link and unlock your 3-day free trial access to all our courses. BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you CLAT 2025 comprehensive course, wherein we are going to provide you with 380 plus hours of live classes, 300 plus recorded videos, 55 mock tests, 10,000 practice question, 10,000 sectional test, study material, doubt resolution, and the CLAT Ignite magazine. So get started for CLAT 2025 with BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now the first question. Now these are the kind of legal knowledge based questions that tend to come in your Symbiosis Law Admission Test. Who is known as the father of the Indian Constitution? C. Rajagopalacharya, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, B.R. Ambedkar, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Now, when you see this kind of questions, these are typically legal knowledge based question. And what do you mean by knowledge based question? They test your legal knowledge. Now, there is no point in saying that, okay, sir, how do I reason it out? How do I come to the right answer? If you know it, you know it. If you don't know, you know. Father of the Indian Constitution. Is it Rajagopalachari? No. Is it Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? No. Is it Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Yes. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad? No. So these are the kind of questions where they are precisely trying to understand, where the examiner is trying to understand whether you know this particular fact that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is referred as the father of the Indian Constitution. Simple. Yes, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is called the father of the Indian Constitution. He was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly. So he was the head, he was the chairperson of the drafting committee, which was given the responsibility of drafting the Indian Constitution. Moving on. Next question. Now, here is a particular question which asks, which amongst the following is not a part of directive principle? Not a part of directive principle. Now, if you have no idea about directive principles, what are the things that are provided in the directive principles, you will not be able to answer. And henceforth, we always stress upon this particular thing that when you are preparing for an examination like this, you must be in a position to have knowledge particularly about the Indian Constitution. Now, if you haven't read the directive principles of state policy, how will you answer? Which of the following is not a part of the directive principles of state policy? Provision of work and maternity relief. Yes, it is there in the directive policy, directive principles of state policy. Village panchayat is provided in the directive principles of state policy. International peace and security is provided in the directive principles of state policy, but there is no provision relating to adult education. There is no provision relating to adult education. Child education is something else. So all that I am trying to stress is the fact that you must be in a position where you have knowledge about various aspects of the law. Option C. Moving on to the next question. Which constitutional amendment removed right to property from the fundamental rights? Which constitutional amendment? Is it the 42nd constitutional amendment, the 44th constitutional amendment, 45th, or the 43rd? Now, the 42nd constitution is referred as a mini constitution. No. It was the 44th constitution that removed right to property from the list of fundamental rights. Now, fundamental rights, once upon a time, you will be surprised to know that it was a part of fundamental rights. But later on, it was removed by virtue of the 44th constitutional amendment. Is that clear? So the 44th constitutional amendment removed right to property from fundamental rights. Next, what is the term of Rajya Sabha? I know Lok Sabha is 5 years. Is it 5 years? That is Lok Sabha. What about Rajya Sabha? The term of Rajya Sabha. Now, you have to have a clear understanding of the legislative process. The legislature. The term of the Rajya Sabha happens to be 6 years with 1/3 members retiring every 2 years. So 1/3 members are retiring every 2 years. So it is a permanent body. The Vice President of India happens to be the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. So when we are preparing for an examination like these, what you need to do, I'm sure you guys are understanding. Elected members of the Legislative Assembly elects members of the Rajya Sabha. President appoints 12 members who are expert in the field of art, science, social service, etc. Members are elected for a period of 6 years and is a continuous body subjected to dissolution of 1/3 of members retire every 2 years. तो आप जब भी इस तरीके का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, स्लैट जैसा एग्जाम है, आपका प्रिपरेशन सिर्फ पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आपने जरूर सॉल्व किया होंगे, आपने बहुत सारे पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस जरूर सॉल्व किए होंगे, बट ये वाला जो एग्जाम है ये आपको वैसे पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए नहीं मांगता है. ये देखता है कि क्या हर एक बच्चा प्रॉपर्ली जानते हैं कि क्या है क्या नहीं है, हम लोग का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, हम लोग का संविधान में क्या दिया गया है. सो एन ओवरऑल नॉलेज is required. They might ask you question on legal maxims also. We'll come to that. They might ask you questions like these. In which year was the Right to Information Act enacted? Right to Information Act, RTI, जहां से you can ask information from the government, from bodies, from public sectors. Of course, कुछ confidential होते हैं, but by and large you can ask a lot of questions. As a citizen of the country, under Article 19(1)(a), you have freedom of speech and expression. Now, how do you express yourself unless you have information? And henceforth, in the year 2005, the Right to Information Act was enacted by the Parliament. It was way back in the year 2005 when this particular legislation that deals with information was enacted. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? This right to information sets out certain rules and procedure regarding citizens' right to information. What are the rules? What are the regulation? What are the procedure insofar as a citizen's right to information is concerned? Moving on. Next. Now, this is a very interesting question. The Parliament of India consists of what? Upper house. What do you mean by upper house? Then you have the lower house. Sorry, upper house is the Rajya Sabha. Then you have the Lok Sabha. And then you have the President. Indian Parliament consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and without the president giving his or her assent to a bill, can the bill become a law? No, the bill cannot become a law unless the president gives his or her assent. So president is also a part of the parliamentary process or the legislative process. So the correct answer is option D, all of the above. All of the above. Is that clear? Option D. Next, who was the first election commissioner of India? Oh, elections are happening, will be happening next month. Sorry, in 2 months' time. So इलेक्शन अभी 2024 में होने वाला है, यूनियन इलेक्शन, लोकसभा. तो इलेक्शन के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आ ही सकते हैं. Who was the first election commissioner of India? They're not asking you who is the election commissioner of India today. Is it Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? No. B.R. Ambedkar was the first law minister. He was also the chairperson of the drafting committee. C.K. Daftari was the first solicitor general of India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, you know. Sukumar Sen, the correct answer is Sukumar Sen. Sukumar Sen was the first election commissioner of India. And in those days, it was not, the election commission was not a 3-member body, it was a single person body. It was a single member body. It was a single member body. तो मैं आपको समझने का कोशिश करवा रहा हूं. Very good. All of you are giving me great answers. Renu, GC and others. तो मैं आप लोगों को एक चीज समझाने का कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि आप जब स्लैट का प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं उसका क्वेश्चंस डिफरेंटली आ सकते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स प्रिंसिपल एंड फैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आएंगे. हम लोग बहुत सारे तो क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, 100 क्वेश्चंस करेंगे. आज तो जस्ट हम लोग 10 क्वेश्चन करेंगे. नेक्स्ट क्लास में और 10 करेंगे. ऐसे हम लोग का 10 यूट्यूब में सेशंस होंगे. तो जरूर फॉलो कीजिए. एंड इफ यू आर लाइकिंग दिस सेशन, डू प्रेस द लाइक बटन गाइस. इफ यू आर लाइकिंग दिस सेशन, डू प्रेस द लाइक बटन. ओके, आई होप दैट्स क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. एनी क्वेश्चन, किसी भी प्रकार का क्वेश्चंस आते हैं आपके पास तो आप जरूर पूछ लेना. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. It was Sukumar Sen. Okay, Sukumar Sen was the first election commissioner of India. Now here is a very interesting question. What do you mean by the term iddat? What do you mean by the term iddat? Tell me. The age of a girl fit for marriage, demand for dowry from the girl's side, a period of seclusion under the Muslim undergone by a Muslim widow or a divorce. The correct answer, iddat is the period of seclusion or compulsory seclusion under the Muslim marriage laws. Under the Muslim marriage laws. So option C is the correct answer. It is a period of seclusion under the Muslim divorce laws. ठीक है? When a woman is wanting to separate from the husband. Is that clear? All of you? All of you. Moving on to the next question. Which Chief Justice of India has performed the duties of the President? My goodness. The Chief Justice of India became the president of the country. Yes. I'll give you a hint. The hint is उनके नाम पे एक नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है. उनके नाम पे एक नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है. कहां है? रायपुर. This is a hint. HNLU. Hidyatullah National Law University. Is that clear? हिदियातुल्ला नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है. हाँ या ना? तो देखो, आप जब एक एग्जाम का प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो ऐसे ही करना. ठीक है जी? ठीक है? ओके, चलो मूविंग ऑन. जस्टिस हिदियातुल्ला. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. By which constitutional amendment was the National Judicial Appointment Commission being set up? NJAC. Which was later on struck down by the Supreme Court. It was later on struck down by the Supreme Court. NJAC. Was it the 96th constitutional amendment, the 99th, 121st or 120th? The correct answer is by virtue of the 99th constitutional amendment. So the 99th constitutional amendment gave birth to the concept of National Judicial Appointments Commission. Now, the collegium system, as you know, exists insofar as appointment of the higher judiciary is concerned, High Court and Supreme Court of India. Now, under the system, judges who are a part of the collegium appoints judges. Now, there has been a lot of debate about it, but the law was struck down because it takes away the primacy of the judiciary insofar as judicial appointments is concerned, which is a basic feature of the Indian Constitution. So the answer is 99th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, if you are preparing for other law entrance examination like Maharashtra CET, Slat and other law entrance examination, we have a special online classroom program for you. Right? Description box. Go to the description box below. There is a link. And if you are preparing to start your CLAT 2025 comprehensive course, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you 380 plus hours of live classes, 300 plus recorded videos, 55 mock tests, 10,000 practice question, practice test, doubt resolution, and the CLAT Ignite magazine. Start early, stay ahead. BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you CLAT 2025 Legal and GK Booster Series happening every Sunday 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. starting the 7th of January. Those of you who are only wanting a test series, that is, you only require the mocks, we have it for you. We bring to you this unlimited number of mocks, 55 mocks at the most affordable test series package. Get it now. So guys, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our Instagram, do like our Facebook page, join our Telegram channel, and do not forget to download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app. In our Facebook, in our Twitter, as well as in our Telegram channel, we provide you with a lot of materials. With this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.